because she is about to put y'all on game. Y'all been asking about these LLCs, these trusts, these DBAs. She about to school y'all. And do me a favor, y'all. Go inside of the chat and say, it's going down. Come get in the room. Go inside of the Telegram. Tell your cousins to come get in the room because it's about to be a game-changing class. Y'all, I told y'all, class 3 is going to be better than class 1 and 2. So, Joy about to go crazy. I appreciate you, Joy. The stage is yours.
All righty. How you guys doing? And just to piggyback on what you were saying, Dion, bankruptcy is another tool for asset protection. I know it's not talked a lot in our community. I know we think it's taboo, but bankruptcy is the quickest way to get rid of debt and still keep your assets, still keep your house, still keep your car. Or you can just get rid of all of the debt. But bankruptcy is a tool. Anyway, tonight we are going to get into how we're going to properly structure our business. We're going to get into how we're going to properly structure your business. So, give me a 1 in the chat if you have seen me, you've heard me before. Give me a 2 if you're like, girl, who are you? Who are you? I ain't never seen you a day in my life. Okay, I got some 1s. I got some 2s. Oh, okay. Now, before I get started, type in the comments, what kind of business do y'all have? I like to use real life examples in my classes. So give me in the comments, what kind of businesses do you have? Okay, we got a beauty business. We got a courier business. We got a trucking business. And we got a credit repair business. Okay. So here is my disclaimer. First things first, it is grimy out here in these business streets. I'll say it again. It is grimy out here in these business streets. Eat or get eaten, killed or be killed. Okay, so if you come out here playing, if you come out here, I'm about to just, have a DBA, be a sole proprietor. I'm going to see if I make some money first. If you come out here without the right structure, you can lose everything. You can lose everything, and we don't want that. Okay, so for all my 2s who don't know me, my name is Joy. I'm your business bestie. I have been a business attorney since 2004. I'm a little old. And I've been a serial 7-figure entrepreneur. And I used to specialize in brick and mortar businesses. And these are going to be some of the businesses I had before coming online and doing my online business. So when you are first starting out with your business and you're saying, you are a sole proprietor, you're a DBA. Let me tell you why we don't want to do this. Give me a 3 in the comment if anyone does not have an LLC. You have a sole proprietor, you have a DBA. You're like, I'm going to just kind of wait and see before I spend all that money. Okay, so Sean, Josie, Angela, let me tell you why we got to change that today. Someone type in the comments today. So when you are doing business and you're coming as a sole proprietor, as a DBA without any kind of entity, this is you. You have a house, you have a car, you have some money in the bank. We have a courier business on this line tonight. If I have Joyce Courier, I'm a DBA. My driver, she's mad. She got in a fight with her boyfriend. So she doing one of them paragraph texts like She runs a red light and she kills someone. Now I'm being sued. Okay? So if I have $1 million policy, but I got sued and lost for $2 million, that means that I, Joy, the DBA, is on the hook for $1 million. They're going to come knock on my door and take my house and take my car and take the money out the bank to satisfy that judgment. We don't want that. Okay? So first things first. The second you're thinking about starting a business, before you get your logo, before you get your website, before you get your social media page, you want to form your LLC. Not because it's making money. You want to form your LLC to separate you and your assets from the business. So same scenario, courier driver, runs a red light, kills someone, $2 million judgment, only have $1 million policy. The LLC or corporation will lose the cash flow, but you will not lose your assets. Okay, you will still have your assets. So First things first, you want to form your LLC or you want to form your corporation. Now, whoever's talking about it's costly, here's my question to you. Either you're going to pay now or you're going to pay later. If you pay later, you're going to pay more. Okay? Ain't nothing free in business. So if forming an LLC is too costly, you probably want to go ahead and just hit end on the Zoom call, because it takes money to make money. It takes money to make money, and it takes money to protect what you have. Now, besides asset protection, having an LLC or a corporation is going to make you look credible, like a real business. It's going to reserve your business name in the state that you're in. If you want no one else to use your business name, then you need to file a trademark. And then you can also establish business credit and apply for a business grant. So your business can walk into the bank and get a line of credit, a loan, vehicle financing. Your business can walk in and apply for business grants. Okay, so you're going to double your borrowing power once you have a business entity. Darius, I'm going to get to your questions, Darius. I'm going to get to your I got y'all. Tonight, I'm going to give you all the game. I got everything. I got y'all. Just, let me cook, Darius. Let me cook. Now, come on. Let me cook. So, do we have anyone on here that has multiple businesses, but they only have one LLC? You say, I'm going to get one LLC, and I'm just going to get 2-3 DBAs, and I'm going to run these businesses all out of one LLC. Let me tell you why we don't want to do that. So if I have Joyce Courier Service as an LLC, and then we have credit repair, I said I'm going to start Joyce Credit Repair, but I'm going to wait until I make some money first to get my LLC. So I'm going to get a DBA, which stands for Don't Be Asked Out. I'm going to run Joyce Credit Repair under Joyce Courier Joyce Courier LLC. When you combine businesses together, you combine risk. When you combine businesses together, you combine liability. When you combine businesses together, this is the easiest way to lose everything real quick. So I have Joyce Credit Repair. I signed a contract with a credit repair software company, and I didn't pay my fee, and they sued me, and I lose the lawsuit. Not only are they going to take the money from Joyce Credit Repair, they're going to also take the money from Joyce Courier. Now, how are they going to touch the Joyce Courier? That ain't got nothing to do with Joyce Credit Repair, and I don't understand. And, well, you combine the businesses together. You combine them. We don't want that, okay? We want to have each business be its own LLC. So, same scenario. Joyce Credit Repair got sued. I'll lose whatever Joyce Credit Repair has, but I won't lose the cash flow or the assets from Joyce Courier Service. Well, why is that important? Because in business, cash flow is king. I'm going to say it again. In business, cash flow is king. The second the cash flow dries up, let me tell you what happens. The monkey is now around your neck. The monkey represents stress. So if Joyce Courier Service is my main source of income, but because I had combined all these businesses together, so my assets and my cash flow of my business are now being tied up in this other lawsuit, well, how am I paying my bills? I'm not. We ain't going nowhere for spring break or summer break. We're not getting no new clothes for school. My son's coming out of AU basketball. My daughter's coming out of competitive cheer. That spouse got to turn in her luxury car. Now we are leaving our dream house, going to our mama's house. Now you at home cussing and fussing. They're going to say, why you quit your job? Now you in divorce court and bankruptcy court, all because you wanted to save $500. If you pay now, if you don't pay now, you're going to pay later. If you pay later, you're always going to pay more. You don't want this. Something will happen in business. For example, I used to have a car rental company. One day, a mother came in, rented a car, and she let her 15-year-old daughter use the car. Now, why would you let a 15-year-old kid use a car? Does that make sense to you? Something will happen in business. The 15-year-old girl is driving our car. She's with her boyfriend. She finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her. She's going 100 miles an hour down the street, cussing him out, loses control and runs into a tree, and the boy dies on sight. You can pay now or you can pay later. So now I have the Department of Transportation, the DOT, calling me talking about my vehicle is part of a crime scene, is being detained, and no, I can't pick it up. Here comes the monkey crawling up my neck. But because I had all of my businesses in separate entities, I'm like, okay, well, if this one goes bad, I'm not going to lose everything. Because I have multiple insurance policies, I got layers. Because I have my structure is multiple things. I have layers, so I don't have the monkey. I got some attorney's fees. If something comes on me, I got it, but I'm able to live my life. God willing, nothing happened. The insurance company just took care of everything, but something will happen in business. Yes, it's a real story. I ain't gonna make no story up. Every story I tell y'all today is real. I said I'm 20 years in. I ain't gotta make a story up. This is why you want to have an LLC in the beginning, because one of y'all gonna have one of these stories. And it can either go good or it can go bad. Now, when we are forming our LLC, number one, you want to have a registered agent. A registered agent is going to be the person who's responsible for receiving mail on your behalf. It could be you, it can be a company, it could be a friend. You just want to make sure that it has a current address. So if you've moved from your past agent's address, if you hired a company that you stopped using, you want to make sure tonight, everyone that has an LLC, you want to make sure that this address is a good address. If it's not, any kind of mail coming to you, you will not be able to receive, including a lawsuit, okay? Number two, you got to have an operating agreement for your LLC. It's going to be the contract for your LLC. It's going to govern how your LLC is ran. It's called a corporate formality. You just have to have it. Then we want to have a business bank account. A business bank account. You want to make sure, number one, that all of the income of the business is hitting that business bank account. So my cash-heavy businesses, my nail techs, lash techs, barbers, hairstylists, don't make $1,000 today and then take that money and go to Walmart and go buy groceries. If the money doesn't hit the business bank account, you don't get credit for it. When it comes time to go get financing for a car, they're going to pull your last 90 days of bank statements. Whatever that amount is, that's what they're saying your business makes. A lot of time, your business makes more than that, but it's not in the business bank account. If you need the money, just transfer it from the business account to your personal account, and then you can just spend it from there. Also on your business bank account, only business expenses need to come out. So no Fashion Nova, no hookah bar, no nails, no lashes, none of that. Number 4 for your business structure, every state except for Ohio and Arizona are going to, and I think Alabama, are going to require you to file some kind of annual report to keep your LLC active. So forming your LLC is the first part. To keep this asset structure together, you got to keep your LLC active by filing your annual report. If you don't file it, they're going to make your LLC inactive, meaning you don't have an LLC. So now if a lawsuit comes, you think I'm good because I got this LLC, but here comes the monkey. Oh, your LLC's inactive. Now they're coming after your personal assets. We don't want that. Okay. Now, depending on your industry, some will require some kind of licenses, insurance, or permits. We got to have those. And then once again, if you have multiple businesses, every business must have its own LLC, okay? So here's going to be your business structure 4-pack. You're going to have your LLC or corporation. You're going to have your EIN, your employer identification number. You're going to have your operating agreement, and you're going to have your business bank account. LLC or corporation, EIN, operating agreement, business bank account for every single business for every single LLC you have. Now, give me a 4 in the comments if anyone is using Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail for their business email. Now, when Dion introduced me, if I would have came up on the Zoom with this bonnet on my head talking about, hey y'all, I'm about to teach y'all about some business structure. Are y'all listening to me or no? Are y'all about to say, she know what she talking about? Or are you gonna say, oh, Dion tripping. He done brought a little bonquisha up here. So when you have Gmail, this is what your business look like. You have the bonnet on your business when you have a Gmail account, a Yahoo account, an iCloud account. So you run around here talking about I can't get funded. You can't get funded because you're over here looking busted and disgusted. So for everyone who wants to get funded, we gotta have a real email address. You gotta have a business email address. So you want to go to GoDaddy.com. It needs to be info@yourbusinessname.com. Customer service at your business name. No Gmail, no Yahoo, no AOL, no iCloud, none of that. All of that is considered a personal email address. You are not about to get any funding with that, okay? So, forming our LLC is the first step. Running it like it's Walmart is how we keep the asset protection. So making sure that only business expenses are coming out the business bank account. We're filing our LLC annual report. We have whatever license insurance that we need. We have our operating agreement, okay? S-Corps, where's Darius? Come to the stage, Darius. So an S-Corp is not a business entity, okay? So you're only going to form an LLC or a C Corp. Those are your 2 types of business entities. An S Corp is considered a tax election, how the IRS will tax you, okay? So you form your entity at the state level, it's taxed at the federal level. So an LLC is going to pay a 15.3% self-employment tax. A C Corp is going to have double taxation. So neither entity has the best tax structure. So the IRS says, hey, LLC, hey, C Corp, if you want to be taxed as an S Corp, you're going to file a form 2553 and to ask, to be taxed as an S Corp. Now, to be an S Corp, number 1, the business will now file a separate tax return, which will run you between $750 and $2,000. Number 2, the owner is now going to have to be on payroll with payroll taxes being taken out. So normally the cost of being an S Corp is outweighed by the tax savings once you're making about $60,000 in profit for the year. So anyone on here who has paid all their business bills and are still bringing home about $60,000, it is now time for you to tell your accountant, your CPA, to go ahead and make that S Corp tax election. Okay? Now, some of y'all may not want people knowing that you own businesses. Some of y'all may not want all your information on the World Wide Web. So there is something called an anonymous LLC. An anonymous LLC is in 4 states: Delaware, Nevada, New Mexico, and Wyoming. At these states, when you form your LLC, the owner's information is not on the website. The owner's information is not on the website. So your LLC paperwork, the articles of organization, the certificate of formation, whatever you want to call it, is going to look like this. It'll have the business name and the registered agent, and that's it. There's no information online regarding the owner. The owner's information is going to be tied to the business in the operating agreement. But when you go online, no one can just Google and see who owns this business. So here are articles of organization for a Louisiana LLC, and you'll see right here they're going to have the names of the owners online, where on an anonymous LLC, there is no owner's information. That's the difference. Now, If you decide to go form an LLC outside of the state that you're doing business in, or if you go decide to form an LLC, if you say, hey, I'm an online business, I don't have any kind of physical location, then you're doing business in the state where the CEO is. Where can they go put their hands on the owner? That's your state of doing business. So if I am in Texas, but I don't want to have a Texas LLC, I want to have an anonymous LLC, and I go form my LLC in Delaware, I now have to register that Delaware LLC in Texas as a foreign LLC. A foreign LLC is an out-of-state LLC that's doing business in this state. So every business has to have one corporate headquarters. So if I'm doing business in Texas and Louisiana and California, I only have to have one headquarters. But my headquarters must be in a state that I'm doing business in. The simplest way to form your LLC, for those who don't want to do a lot of paperwork, I want a simple business structure, is form your LLC in the state that you're in. Now, well, why would someone want to have an anonymous LLC? And that don't make no sense. Why does someone want to do all of that? Well, remember I said how one of my clients crashed my car from my car rental company? Oh, I forgot to add. After the boy died, the girl was in ICU, okay? So I don't know what's going to happen at this time, right? Yes, there's insurance, but if you've ever been in business and you know, insurance job is to figure out why they're not going to pay you. So as everything is pending, is the insurance going to cover it? Are they going to play some games like you didn't put 1, 2, 3 on this line, so we're denying your policy? If it comes on me, I may not want everyone knowing what I have. So if I am thinking that litigation is coming, or I may just not want people knowing all what I got. That would be a reason why I would maybe want to spend more money and form an LLC in another state and then register as a foreign LLC in the state that I'm in. Okay, you don't have to have an anonymous LLC. If you don't want people knowing what you have, then you do need to have an anonymous LLC. So a foreign LLC is just going to be an LLC that's out of state doing business in this state. So number one, if you want to have an anonymous LLC and then you want to register it in the state that you're in, that's one reason to have one. Number two, you can now open your business up to different banking plays in different states. So let's just say Dion says, hey, y'all, Nebraska has this bank, is giving out funding. Y'all need to go over here. Well, you don't have to now go form a brand new Nebraska LLC. I can take my Texas LLC and register as a Nebraska LLC, and now I can use all the banks in Nebraska. And then Bam Man Kevin might say, hey, y'all, New York got this bank. Y'all need to go over here. I can take my same LLC and register as a foreign LLC in New York, and now I'm privy to all the New York banks. So every state that you want to have banking privileges in, you can file a foreign LLC. Another reason why you may have a foreign LLC is if your LLC moves. So let's say I have my Texas LLC. I've had it for 5 years, but now I'm moving to California. Well, I may not want to start all the way over and lose that corporate age. So I can move my Texas LLC to California as a foreign LLC and still keep my 5 years of corporate age. I do got to keep my Texas LLC active and my California LLC, but I will keep my corporate age. Okay, so there's multiple ways of skinning a cat. You just want to do what's best for you. Now, there is 2 types of liability. There's inside liability and there's outside liability, okay? Inside liability is something inside the business happened that caused the lawsuit. Someone slip and fell at the business. There's a contract dispute. The partners are falling out. Something inside the business happened that caused the liability. Outside liability is you cause the liability. Maybe you're driving your car, you hydroplane, you go and kill someone, they get a $3 million judgment against you, you have insurance, but you only have $1 million policy. That means that you on the hook for $2 million. They're now going to come take all the assets in your name. If your business is in your name, that's an asset that they can take. Okay, so the best way to minimize any kind of lawsuits is to not look like you're doing that good. But for everyone who does all of the lifestyle marketing, look at my Rolex, here are the keys to the Lambo. Just know that if you were to get in litigation, the first thing opposing counsel is going to do is hire a PI. They're going to go through every social media post. They are looking up every Secretary of State, every DMV, They're looking up everything to figure out what you got and is it worth suing you. So, for those who want to maybe hide their assets, they don't want the whole world knowing what you own, there are multiple ways that we can do that, but there is no one way. There is no one thing that you can have that's going to bulletproof your structure. There's multiple things that we can do. So, insurance is one layer we can have. Having our business, multiple business structures is another thing we have. Using things like trusts are things, but I want everyone to understand the pros and the cons, because on social media, they're going to say the trust owns it. You got to understand how these things work and what is best for you. So when it comes to trusts, a trust is just a piece of paper. It's a legal agreement that says you own X, Y, and Z. The great thing about a trust is that it's private. No one can go Google Joyce Trust and see what it is. It's a private agreement. So no one knows what you own if you put it in a trust. They have to find your actual trust to see the paperwork, see what you own. Now, there's only two types of trusts. There's an irrevocable trust and there's a revocable trust. There's multiple names for trust, the land trust, the this trust. There's only two types of trust, okay? So the first type is going to be a revocable living trust. The revocable living trust is where it can own assets. The benefit is upon your death, immediately your beneficiaries get your assets. Okay, so we don't really want a will, because a will, number one, has to go through probate court. There's probate expenses. If Nuke and them fighting over the will, now we got litigation. So we don't really want to have a will. So a trust will, upon your death, give your assets immediately to your heirs. You can put bank accounts, you can put properties in your revocable living trust. However, while you're living, it does not give you any asset protection. The revocable living trust does not give you any asset protection. Now, the bulletproof trust is the irrevocable trust. Anything that's put in this trust, it's a wrap. It's protected. It's good. Here's the problem. Once you put the asset in the trust, your hands are off of it. You don't control it. You can't change it. You can't say just kidding. You can't go encumber it. You can't move it over here and get a collateral loan. You can't refinance it. You can't do anything. Your hands are off of the property. So for this reason, most people don't put businesses in irrevocable trust, because now I can't control the business. Most people don't put property that they may need to use in an irrevocable trust, because now I can't zig and zag. See, anyone in business knows business is like a roller coaster, right? You up one day, you down the next. I may need to move some things around to do some plays, and an irrevocable trust, although it protects your asset, it kind of protects it from you also. So, one way of getting asset protection but still being able to control the asset, to zig and zag, be able to use it how you need to use it, is by having a holding company, okay? A holding company is just going to be an LLC that you create just to own the assets, meaning the deed will be in the holding company's name. The title will be in the holding company's name. The trademark application will be in the holding company's name. So how it works is you'll have one LLC that's doing business with the public. Your holding company was just going to own the assets. It's not getting business funding. It's not doing any kind of business with the outside world. It's not getting credit card. It's not doing anything but doing business with your business because it's owning the assets. If it comes out here and does real business, we're opening our holding company up to litigation. So a holding company owns assets, okay? A holding company owns assets. So how it works is your holding company owns your assets. Your operating LLC will have a lease agreement saying, hey, I'm going to pay the holding company $200 a month to be able to use this car. The holding company can own your business assets. It can also own your personal assets. So if you over here doing lifestyle marketing and you balling, you rich, you may not want to have that car in your name. So you can put in your holding company's name. Your holding company isn't doing business, so it can be in an anonymous state so that when they look up 123 Enterprises, nobody knows who owns 123 Enterprises, and that would be a way of masking what it is that you own. Every single month, your operating LLC will pay your holding company a lease fee to be able to use the asset. Now, a parent company owns other businesses. A parent company owns other businesses. So if you have multiple businesses, either you can own them, like your name can be on them. And I call this the bubble diagram. This is the simplest way to own them. So for those who want a simple business structure, I don't want to do a whole lot of, this is your structure right here. But some people may want to have one business own their other businesses. So you would have a parent subsidiary format. So here's the thing. If we have a parent subsidiary or a parent and baby LLC format, we have to make sure that the corporate formalities down here with the baby LLCs are followed, meaning our LLC is active. We're not commingling personal and business expenses out of the business bank account. We have all the right licenses, permits, because if something happens down here and LLC number 1 gets sued, if my LLC is inactive, they're going to do what's called pierce the corporate veil, and they're coming up to the mama LLC. And the mama LLC got all of this, okay? So you want to make sure if you want this more complicated structure, number 1, it needs to be set up professionally. That means not by you. And then number 2, all of the corporate formalities must be followed. Well, who wants to do all that work and why you gonna do all that? Well, sometimes the owner of an LLC or of businesses wants to be on payroll. Eventually, you want to be an employee of your business. Maybe you don't want to run payroll and have the payroll cost out of all 3 LLCs. You may want to just have it out of one business. So what you can do is you can have a parent company, which would be an S corp, own your baby businesses. All the profits of the baby business can be ran up to the parent company via a management fee. And now you're taking a salary from just one business. Or maybe you're trying to get funding. And maybe the requirement is that your business has to make $10,000 a month. Maybe by themselves, they don't make $10,000 a month, but together they do. So what you could do is you could run the profits up via a management fee to the parent company and then go get funding from the parent company. Maybe you're in a high-risk industry, and before you took Dion's class, you had already formed your LLC, and you named your LLC High Risk Funding LLC. Well, how am I going to get funding? Well, you can change the ownership of the LLC, not the name, because whenever you do an amendment, the amendment and the original go together. So if I change my name from High Risk Funding LLC to LLC Solutions, I got to take the original and the amendment into the bank. And so all they're going to do is be like, oh, you just changed your name? Denied, right? But we can change the ownership. I can take my name off the LLC and I can make a parent company now own the LLC. My parent company can have a generic name, 123 Solutions, 123 Group, 123, Consulting. And then the profits of my high-risk funding company, I can move up to the parent company via a management fee, and I can now go get funding from the parent company. See, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So, most likely, if you're doing this parent subsidiary format, you are going to want your parent company to be anonymous in Wyoming, Delaware, Nevada, New Mexico, so that no one person knows all what you own. Because your parent company is not doing any kind of active business with the outside world, it doesn't have to be in the state that you're in. So for those who want like a very complicated, or I would say advanced business structure, this will be you. You could have a trust for anonymity, and the trust could own the parent company, and then your parent company would own your other businesses. Your holding company is always by itself. It's never connected to anything, because if something were to happen down here, we want our assets to be protected. So the holding company is not owning other businesses. It's not doing anything but owning the assets. There's lease agreements for every entity that is using the assets. There's lease payments every single month. And this will be a complicated structure. You can go ahead and take a screenshot of this. If you don't want the trust involved, it can just be you owning your parent company. And then your parent company can own the subsidiaries. Once again, the holding company is still on its own. It's owning your assets. So those who own real estate, y'all own vehicles, y'all have trademarks, copyrights, anything that's an asset, that's in your holding company. It's not in your name. So you may have heard the thing, control everything, own nothing, but this would be the best way. Anything that's put in a trust and you want to touch it, doesn't give you asset protection. The trust that does give you asset protection, you aren't able to use the asset. So if you have maybe like something that you want to just pass down, you don't need it, you could put it in the irrevocable trust. But in business, it's ups and downs. You're always putting a fire out. You may always got to put your hands on something to use for collateral, get some money. So for business purposes, you probably want to use a holding company. Now, when you guys are funding your business, right? Maybe you are putting money in for the upstart capital, getting inventory, forming your LLC, getting your equipment, or sometimes y'all will put your paycheck in your business bank account to have revenue coming in because you're trying to get funding. What you don't want to do is you don't want to pay a tax on money that you're just moving from one account to put into your business. So if I'm taking $10,000 out of my personal account and putting it into my business to go pay for some equipment or to cover payroll because we just short this month, I don't want to pay a tax on that $10,000. So any money that you're putting in your business bank account is going to be deemed income unless you delegate what it is. So if you put money in your business, either it's going to be a capital contribution or it's going to be a loan. A capital contribution means I'm putting this money in my business, but I don't need it back. I'm investing it in my business. A loan is I'm putting this money in, but once that business starts making money, I need my money back. Whichever you want, you put it on the correct contract, and at the end of the year, you give this contract to your CPA or your accountant, because they're going to say this. Let's just say there's $10,000 on your capital contribution agreement because you put the money from your paycheck in your business bank account, and there's $100,000 total in the business bank account. Well, your CPA knows, although I see $100,000 in here, 10 of it was a capital contribution. So I'm only going to assess tax on the $90,000, not the full $100,000. So it's so important that when you're funding your business, when you're putting money in that business bank account, we understand the consequences of what we're doing and how we need to do it correctly. Because on social media, 9 out of 10 times, the people only tell you 2 of the 3 steps. And you go do the 2 steps thinking you about to do something. And then on that 3rd step, when your account's like, we have this big tax bill. Well, I didn't know all that, baby. I didn't know is not a do-over. I didn't know is there is no I didn't know card to get yourself out of a bind in business. Okay, so any money that you're putting in that business bank account needs to be on a capital contribution agreement or an LLC loan agreement. If you screenshot this slide, here's my website. I have an LLC kit that has both of those contracts in there. So that is that for advanced business structure. I know it was a lot of information. Y'all need to upgrade to get the replay, to watch it again. But it is so important that you understand what your goals are as to what is the best business structure for you. There's no one thing that's great. This is better than this. It's what's best for what you want for you and your business.
Wow. That's amazing. How did y'all like class today? Come on now. I need y'all to let it. Somebody said gorgeous and smart and intelligent. Oh my God. Right now ain't the time to flirt. Y'all are crazy, man. Y'all gotta throw some hearts, throw some fire emojis in the chat. Joy just showed up and she showed out. And here's what's crazy, y'all. We got some people that missed class today. Like, can you just imagine missing today's class because you just chose not to be here or you felt like you had something better to do? What better than to hear Joy break down all of this business structure, all the business formality, the holding companies, the trust. Some of y'all don't trust yourself, but we're going to get into that later. Don't worry about that, okay? We're gonna help y'all with that later, okay? But listen, she came in here, she broke all of the information down, she broke all of the strategies. Hopefully y'all learned something. Make sure y'all do her a favor, go follow her on Instagram, go show her some love, repost her, shout her out. Y'all can take a screenshot right now, repost it on Instagram, show her some love, man, and continue to show her love in the chat. Joy, I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you for just coming to love on my people.
No problem.
Loving on the community the right way, because I'm pretty sure they appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I don't know what you're doing right now, but I'm pretty sure you're busy, so we're going to let you get back to your wonderful day.
Bye.
Peace out. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. All right, y'all. That was advanced business structure. If you want all of that gems for real, then you need to get my advanced business structure course. What is it under? What is my, hold on. What is it? I was about to give y'all a keyword. I don't even know what the keyword is. So you just need to join, you really need to join my 5-day business challenge. It's going to be September 8th to the 12th. You want to comment challenge in the comments to get the link to my 5-day business challenge. I'm having a free class in an hour tonight at 9 p.m. going over how to structure, fund, and market your business to the bank. You want to comment bank if you want to get the Zoom link to that class. It's so important that your foundation is correct, that your structure is correct, that you understand how to market your business, that you know how to get funding for your business that is solely in your EIN, so you're not always having to be the guarantee. All right. Everyone have a good night, and I will, of course, see you at the bank.